the second I joined to become a Navy SEAL, all of a sudden, let's go back 5 minutes ago when I said I didn't have any experts. Well, when I signed that dotted line, oh my God, everyone was an expert. Everyone was an expert. Everyone all of a sudden is telling me how I'm never going to become a Navy SEAL, right? Oh, you can't do that. Kyle, those guys don't ever sleep. They go for an entire week during that, the basic training without any sleep. You can't do that. You've never done that. You got to be able to run pretty far. You got to be able to swim pretty far. You got to be able to shoot pretty good. You've never done that. You're going to jump out of an airplane. You never done that, and on and on and on. You get my point, right? And so then I get to training. I get to basic training, and I have a whole new set of experts, a whole new set of experts. It's all of the other students, right? And all the other students are saying, oh, this is the challenge. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And all those experts that are running their mouth and talking are the ones that start slowly quitting, and they're dropping out, and they're ringing the bell. They're requesting a drop on request, as we call it, a DOR. They're ringing the bell. And all of those experts start fading away. And so to a degree, it became a little bit of a chip on my shoulder saying, well, everyone around me, I'm saying I want this. This is what I want to do. And everyone around me is saying, yeah, you can't do it. Well, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to freaking go do it. And so there is a little bit of that, the chip on the shoulder, right? That's for sure. But then, pushing through the pain and the suffering, and especially for us, the cold, cold water, you have to take your mind to a little bit of a place of seeing what's over the horizon, right? Mm-hmm. For example, when I am starting a new company, there's one part of that I really hate. There's a slog that I really hate. When it's a capital intensive company, the fundraising of a company, raising capital, I hate it, right? I hate it. And it reminds me of, that basic training where you're just sucking it up. You're going through the cold water. You just have to suck it up because you're looking at your goal, your end goal, saying, hey, what I want to do is months ahead. I still have months of this torture to get through, to get to my end goal. And so again, the ones that are lying to themselves or not realizing, hey, what it's going to actually take to get to that end goal, that's the big aha moment. Spend a little bit of freaking research to understand, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay. What is the research that it takes to go and lose 50 pounds? Hey, I want to create $100 million company. Okay. Is it capital intensive? Yes. Okay. You're going to have to raise a lot of money to get there, potentially, right? You're going to have to build a team, right? And so when you don't spend that time analyzing and research this goal that you set for yourself, that's where it becomes very challenging for us, because they don't spend the time in the beginning to say, hey, did I research this properly? Because why am I putting myself through all this suffering? Oh man, I didn't realize it was going to be this tough. Okay. What does that go back to? It goes back to, you didn't really analyze the situation. You didn't spend any time researching. You didn't understand what the path was going to be to achieve that goal. And so that is what really matters, right? Like I didn't know fully everything that was going to come, but I knew that it was going to be brutal. I knew that it was going to be cold. I mean, even in the 90s, you do a little bit of research and you can understand that Navy SEAL training is the most horrific, professionalized military training on the planet. And I knew, okay, there's going to be this week in there that I'm not going to sleep for a week. I'm not going to get any sleep. So I knew, and I had to prep my body. And I'll never forget, we're 2 weeks away from Hell Week. And one of my best buddies at the time looks like freaking Chris Hemsworth from Thor. He comes running up to me and he's like, can't do it, man. I'm out. And I remember looking at him and going, holy moly, that guy just quit. That guy's faster than me. He's stronger than me, maybe smarter than me. He's better looking than me, all the things, right? And he just quit. And I'll never forget, I go to bed that night and I'm thinking to myself, wow, that guy just quit. I'm not quitting. I got this chip on my shoulder. And I wake up the next morning with a whole new set of problems. I wake up with an inflamed IT band. I have pain from my hip to my ankle, and it's excruciating. I mean, excruciating. And the reason why I tell that story is because if you ask any team guy, hey, what went wrong with your body to make it through the basic training? Every single one of us have a story. And that pain in my leg lasted for weeks leading into Hell Week. It was brutal. And listen, the morning of Hell Week, I get another new problem. I wake up the morning of Hell Week, we're getting ready, and I'm like, all right, tonight's the night. I wake up and I have a whole new problem. I developed 102.5-degree temperature. I'm running hot. I feel like crap. And I go to the medic and he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I'm not giving up. They're going to have to kick me out. I'm not giving up. I'm pushing through. We're pushing through. I made it this far, right? And the point of why I say all that is I was never lying to myself. Like I knew everything was coming. I knew all of the pain was coming. I knew it was going to be excruciating, right? But I had the end goal in mind. I wanted to get to the point where I could go and serve our country and operate in that manner. And I couldn't do that without getting through this phase.